Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Doctor. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest. We got the sun shining, and it's actually a little bit hot out right now. Talking about hot, we are going to be talking about Lady Vinera today. Lord have mercy. We do love her, and I know there's many of you guys who have been waiting for this review, and I have been putting it off for such a long time since poor Vinera. Poor Vinera has just been delayed so many times now. Oh, what if she doesn't come this week, guys? What if she doesn't come? Just something I'm thinking about. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And without further ado, let's get into Lady Vinera. Lady Vinera is going to be a Dark Element UR unit who is probably going to be coming out this coming Wednesday. She has movement 4, jump 2. Her primary job is Assassin, which is going to be a new job toward the Visions. We'll be talking about all of the different abilities that do come with that. Her sub job, she gets access to our Thief and Dual Gunner. She's really going to be the first unit that's going to have her main weapon be a dagger. And of course, we're going to have access to hat, cloth, and accessories for her. Her Limit Break Night Cloak is going to deal heavy damage to the target 3 times in a row, so excellent for chaining, especially when you're thinking about the White Flan event that's going to be coming. And it has a chance to inflict poison, but we don't really much care about the poison. Her TMR is a little bit of an interesting creature. HP 182, accuracy 12, agility 5, and defense 7. That's moderate. I would say it's a pretty good TMR. It's not the best I've seen. But the ability, Night Veil of Deception, reduces the chance of being attacked and applies Male Killer to self for 3 turns. Now, if any of you guys remember, the Male Killer effect was changed on the Lamia card when the Lamia card came out to Global. So I'm wondering what we're going to see replace the TMR ability here for Male Killer. I'm expecting it would be Man Eater, potentially, or it could potentially be Light Killer as well. We're not sure what it's going to be yet. I haven't seen anything or heard anyone talking about it, but definitely watch for when she comes out and make sure you check that ability to make sure it is something that's actually going to be good and useful for you, because it's probably going to change when it comes to Global. Taking a look at her stats here, she does get 2063 HP, TP 117, AP 110. We already talked about her movement and jump, and the number one thing that she is most known for is her luck 174. She gets an additional luck plus 59 on top of that, but that base luck 174 puts her as one of the highest, if not the highest, luck unit in the game. She definitely has the highest total luck and evasion. She's a beast. For anyone who's done Tower Floor 20, you will know it. I mean, she is hard to hit. You needed Holy, you needed Sharpshoot, you needed like a guarantee hit in order to land a hit on her. She comes with an attack of 259, an additional 57, plus 20% on her ability board, and an attack plus 10% in her mastery ability. Gonna be putting her well over 330 attack. Magic's pretty low. Agility is gonna come in at 62 with the buff from the ability board. I would say her mastery ability is pretty good. It gives evasion 10, attack plus 10%. It's interesting that her mastery ability isn't more powerful, I would say. And yes, of course, evasion 10 and attack plus 10% is always going to be good. But there are MRs who have mastery abilities that give evasion plus 15. So it's just interesting to me that they balanced it by only giving her evasion 10 in her mastery ability. For her resistances, she does have slashing 15% and missile 20%, which is going to be very helpful in the current meta right now. She is weak to fist and magic, magic being her biggest weakness at 20%. She's of course going to have 10% light weakness. And as we're going in here, you'll notice she doesn't have a 10% dark resistance here. We will see she's 50% resistance to poison and sleep. And she has a little bit weak to slow and other things. Keep in mind, since she is the highest luck-based unit, luck-based cards are going to affect her more, especially for her evasion. So if you're out there with Shiva and you're like, I'm just going to throw Shiva on her, it's quite likely, if you don't have a maxed out Shiva, that she's actually going to benefit more from actually one of the Luck Plus cards. Now, let's talk about Assassin for a little bit, because Assassin has some problems, believe it or not, in terms of a job class. Poison Needle, the primary ability, of course, going to poison your target. Raiding Blade, so it's going to deal medium damage to an enemy with steel attached to it. That's actually really cool. I'm excited that they're going to have, that she'll basically be having steel available to her while also dealing damage. Urasambe, damage to the target medium and a low probability that the death sentence will be incapacitated at the beginning of the 4th action. So that's Doom, is my understanding. Top Blade is probably going to be your go-to bread and butter ranged attack. She doesn't have very many ranged attacks in her kit. Yes, she's sub double gunner, but you're probably not going to want her to use her double gunner sub abilities. And we'll talk a little bit about that as we're going through here. But it's going to be an AoE 163% physical damage attack. And then you have Broken Armor Blade, which is going to be damage and then defense down on the target for 3 turns. So it's a physical 208% attack with 30% defense down, which is going to be very powerful. And it really brings out the first thing that Vinera is going to be known for here. She's a tank buster, and she excels in lowering defenses and piercing defenses. So she's going to be an Engelbert killer. That's what she's going to specialize in. She'll probably even be able to kill some Warrior of Light. Now, when I was talking about how flawed the assassin job is, though, here, first you have to recognize there is no buff abilities in her primary kit here. So looking at all of these abilities, they're all offensive attacks. There's no buffs that are available to her. And that's going to be part of the problem with Vinera, because you're going to have problems generating AP, essentially, because there's no buffs for her to use in her primary toolkit. And as we're looking at her sub-jobs here, we're actually going to be looking at buffs that will apply to her that can get her AP so that she can attack. The Assassin sub-job, again, no buffs here at all. There is one TP attack, which is Gold Binding, so a paralyzing effect that can act on a target with low probability. But really, you're not going to be wanting to spam that. It's only 14 TP. Sudden Blade is going to be another defense lowering, but it's going to lower the defense from the back. So you would have to get back attacks in order to benefit from this. And then, of course, AP Robbery. For her Sub Thief, there's a couple ways. You, of course, have Steeled Eyesight. You have Lurk in the Dark, which is going to increase her evasion. You have Steal Time and Confused Dagger. I would actually make the case that Sub Thief or Sub Double Gunner kind of offer the same thing for her. And I would almost say you could go with either of these in terms of sub jobs. And I know a lot of people are going to want Sub Double Gunner. Personally, I like Sub Thief for the Confused Dagger to give you a little bit more extra range, and Steal Time. Whenever you're subbing Double Gunner, you're going to have the problem of how gunner abilities are so line of sight and direct, and you're also not getting the best abilities from Double Gunner in the Sub Double Gunner here. So you notice she does get access to Stun Shot, so she will probably try and use that and use it unsuccessfully, or the AI will. Double Shot's pretty good. Smoke Screen, increase own evasion and defense, of course, very powerful for building AP. Quick Shot, Split Shot, yeah. Not to mention, you're not going to get slashing modifier if you use these attacks. So you really want to probably stick to Thief. If you have the ability to switch to Double Gunner, and you can turn abilities on and off like you can in the near future, it might be worth it to go Double Gunner on her. But really, I think you're going to want to stick to Thief, and I think that's going to be the way you're going to want to go. Taking a look at her passives as well, there's a couple things here to think about. You have Move +1, Quick +12% from Thief. You also have increased AP gain. You have Evasion up, which is evasion rate +15%, and earned AP up. So you have 2 AP gain abilities here for +50%. You have the Secret of Shooting from Double Gunner, and then you have Tune Up, which is going to be quickness and defense penetration rate up. So that's going to be quickness or agility plus 12% and defense penetration plus 40%. Having that Tune Up is probably the most critical thing to put on her. And then the question is, what else do you put on her? And a lot of the websites that I was browsing wanted to put move 1 and quickness plus 12% on her. I would make the case that you should probably put an AP gain passive on her because of her lack of getting to AP. However, I could also see if you put a move plus 1 and agility plus 12%, she's going to get closer to the enemy faster. She's going to be physically hitting them. It's a tough call. I'm not sure which one to go for, and I'm going to leave it up to your own discretion. I could also see a case being made for evasion rate plus 15% and earned AP up. I could just see it all. So honestly, almost all of her passives are good. I think the one non-negotiable for her passive is Tune Up, and then you kind of adjust your comp depending on what you're looking for there. Her counters are going to be Quick Action, which is going to be probability to greatly increase one's agility for 1 turn when damaged. Dark Shadow, probability of increasing the evasion rate for yourself for 3 turns when receiving damage, up to 3 times possible, and a CT increase. And then probability of first strike counter when damaged by physical attack. None of these are particularly exciting. I think Dark Shadow is probably the best one that you can hope for. And I imagine since Vinera has such high evasion, you will probably get it to proc reasonably often. In terms of cards, you have kind of two pages and 2 ways that you can go here. You could go for the evasion tank build, right? So you have Secret Feelings here. For the luck up, you have Birth of New Life down here for luck up. You have Vow of Love for enmity, and you have Shiva for evasion. Any of these cards are going to be completely viable for her. For the offensive, you can go something like Moraga, which is going to increase the slash attack. You can go Ifrit to increase attack. You can go Odin for the Man-Eater. You can go Diablos for the dark attack up. And then Two-Headed Dragon is also going to be just slightly viable for her. Definitely something to check out since he will be coming after the Vinera banner. Overall, I would say she's very versatile in what cards she can equip. And I would say she fits into definitely a lot of attack or brawler compositions where maybe you're going to go full evasion and she's going to be that like finishing grace, that coup d'etat on top, you could say. Or did I say coup d'etat? I don't think coup d'etat is the right word. Whatever that cherry on top is. Recommended Espers, so you have Odin for Man-Eater, Slash Resist, Missile Resist. And what's really great about Odin is he has high base AP for her. He's kind of that universal Esper. I would definitely consider putting him on her. Tetrasilphid, if you're really pursuing the evasion path, so it's going to be the number 1 for evasion, has high accuracy. Tetrasilphid also gives AP plus 7% and Earth Killer up. Behemoth gives slash attack up, light killer, attack up, evasion up, light resistance, but then it also offers light minus 10%, so she's going to be even weaker to light opponents. And then, of course, Golem for defense up, Man-Eater, piercing resistance, wind killer, and earth resistance. I love my Golem. I think Golem is almost as universal as Odin is, and I absolutely believe in him. So the question is, overall, what do we think of Vinera? So the pros, she has insane evasion. She has move 4, jump 2. She's going to be good for the upcoming raid. 20% missile resistance, 15% slash resistance. She's a defense piercing, she's a tank buster, and her attack is over 300. For the cons, her TMR is kind of meh. She gets a dagger weapon, which is also meh. I doubt any of you have a dagger weapon, like, prepped and ready to go. There's a lack of AP generation. She has poor counter choices, and she lacks any significant ranged attack, except for really Snipe Dagger. Alright everyone, well, I am going to leave you to come to your own conclusions on whether or not you should pull her. I think she's a very decent, very good unit, and I will be pulling on the guaranteed pulls, at least for her. We will be doing that live on stream this Tuesday night, so make sure you guys come and join us. I stream every day from usually about 5 p.m. PST to 9 p.m. PST, unless it's a pull night or a Friday. Other than that, make sure you drop a comment down in the YouTube section. Come join our Discord at dig.gs/Discord. And also, if you are looking at using or at buying Visior for the Vinera banner, please use my affiliate link, dig.gs/coins. It's also in my description down below. It's one of the best ways to support me, and it really helps me keep my lights on. Thank you so much, guys, and have a great rest of your day.